What's up, folks? Sick Corpse here, and welcome back to another episode of Steam Test Drive. Back playing Magic, Duels, and it is time for us to create our own deck. So this is probably going to be the deck tutorial. I ended up playing another couple more hands in that last little story mode bit, and it was kind of cool. It was about another half hour, 45 minutes for the stuff you didn't need to sit through. So, okay, pick up a Planeswalker deck to start Magic with friends. Oh, so yeah, I know that. Okay, we get a free starter box. Woohoo! Help get you started. Here's your starter box. You can use these cards to create a wide variety of decks and explore a number of different play styles. Boosters. Oh, let's open them all, baby. Yeah. Card collection. Thank you. Alright, let's see what we got here. These are all our cards. We're showing all own cards. Looks like we got a bunch of... Yeah, we're white cards. New. Dauntless River Marshal. Dauntless River Marshal gets +1/+1 as long as you control an island. But it's a white card. There's a lot of dual-colored cards in these decks. Oh, and if you spend 4 mana, one of them at least one island, you can tap a target creature. That's not too bad. We're going to spend a lot of time looking at these cards. Booster button takes you to the store where you can buy more boosters for a chance to get more cards like this. Alright, thank you. Enshrouding Mist, an instant. +1 to turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to this turn if it's renowned. Renowned. Untap it. Target +1 to end a turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt. Not sure I get that one. What's this one? Expedition Envoy. Human Ally Scout, just a 2/1. That's not bad. Typically, if you have a 1/1, it costs 1 mana. So if you get a creature that has a 2 and only costs 1 mana, that's usually typically a really good value. Okay, well, let's create it. We need to create... Okay, main menu. Congratulations, you started your own collection. Now let's put those cards to good use. Head into battle mode. Get 3 booster packs when you complete the Gideon campaign in story mode. I did. Battle mode is where you can put the decks you created to the test. Solo battle allows you to play against a wide variety of AI opponents. It's a great place to practice learning new strategies and try out new ideas. Okay. Versus battle, you play against another player. Two-headed giant. Team up with friends to take on a pair of opponents. Yeah. My deck is where you create and edit your decks. Let's try this now. Okay. Let's do this. What kind of deck would you like to create? Browse the available options and choose your favorite. Magical Armor. Best if you started out. Horde's Thunder. More lands means bigger creatures to smash your enemies with. Control the Sky. Best if you're just starting out. Deal an opponent aerial assault while your ground creatures defend. Inventor's Flair. Use the wondrous artifacts to lead an ingenious assault. Yeah, you also have artifact creatures and artifacts in this. They typically take colorless mana sometimes. Most of the time they take colorless mana. All-out assault, hit the ground running, finish your opponents. And you can see, they show you what colors. So let's discuss colors. Obviously we've seen red, we've seen some green, we've seen some white, and we've seen some black. I'm actually I might go with this one. It's the basic deck. Now, white has a tendency to be creature and enchantment heavy. So, like this magical armor bit, I'm pointing at the screen. Why do I do that? So like this magical armor one, And we would, back in the old days, I say old days, back in the 90s, we would call this what's called a contradiction deck, because typically black and white are against each other in the deck. As a matter of fact, black has cards specifically to target white, and white has cards that specifically target black cards. Same thing with red and green. White and blue is actually a typical combination. So anyway, what this is going to do, white typically has a lot of low-level creatures, but then it has a lot of creature enchantments that you can do +1/+1, or like we saw in the previous games where you could throw out an enchantment and you get +1/+1 across the board on all your creatures. Black usually has the same thing. Red is typically more spell-based, direct damage-based. It has spells in it that, like Fireball. You know, it costs 2 mana to cast, and then you can pump it up for every red mana you add to it. So if you have 7 mana on the board, you cast 2 mana to cast the spell, and that leaves you 5. So when you initially cast it, it's a 1/1 Fireball, and you can pump it up to a 6/6, and you can direct that damage to an opponent or a creature. It's the only way to, it's one of the few ways to actively target a creature prior to an attack. And then it also has spells like Lightning Bolt, which was a 1 mana spell that does 3 points of damage, and it was an instant. Certain direct damage spells are instants, certain are actual enchantment or summons. Blue has a tendency to be enchantment heavy. Not in a lot of creatures, very enchantment heavy, usually dealing with messing with your opponent's deck, messing with your deck, things like that. Green has a tendency to be very creature heavy and is all about life and growth, and very similar to white, except it deals with nature creatures. Black, it's death. Very similar to the opposite of, obviously the opposite of white, but has a lot of shielding spells. It has some direct damage spells and direct damage to opponents. You can suck the life out of other creatures and things on that line. And then, yeah, and that's just out of curiosity. Yeah, so that's the 5 colors. Elvish Fury, yeah, and then these are just differently themed decks. From the Grave, reuse and recycle cards using the power of your graveyard. I was a big red and black player, which is another combination, but we're gonna go. Let's go with Magical Armor. Okay. So we'll create that one. Welcome to the Deck Wizard, where we will help you build a deck of your own. To build your deck, move a card from the top screen. Any suggested card that is good to fit your deck, pick one you like best. Okay. Step 1, enchantments and auras. Some enchantments can make your creatures better, others can harm your opponent's creatures, and you'll want some of both. Okay. So. Suppression Bonds. Oh, I wanted to look at that card. Enchant non-land permanent. Enchant permanent can't attack or block or activate its and its activate abilities can't be in it. Huh. Okay. Yeah, let's look at this. Tainted enemy. If an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Huh. Drink this, brother. It'll bring you rest. So, if the opponent, you throw this out, and if the opponent casts a spell that would gain him life, it would actually take his life away. That's not bad. Enchanted creature. Whenever an enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, you may return the target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That's not bad. So if you have a creature in your graveyard you want back, you can have this. So every time whatever creature you put this on does damage directly to your opponent, you can grab a creature out of your graveyard and put it in your hand. That's not bad. Okay, enchantment. Enchant creature, yes. Okay. End has flying. Okay, we want that. Enchant creature, okay. Sure. This is helpful. Enchanted non-land permanent. So any creature, or potentially, yeah, any creature. That's not bad. That's pretty good. We'll go with one of these. Now let's get one more. Let's go with this guy here. Okay. All right. Enchantment Synergy. Some creatures search for enchantments in your library. Pair them with creatures to gain extra benefits while enchanted. Okay. What the frick is that? Flying Double Strike. Ooh, I like that. When a Boomweaver Giant enters the battlefield, you may search your graveyard hand for an aura card and put it in the battlefield attached to the Boomweaver Giant. Search your library this way, shuffle. He's pretty powerful. Child of the Night, lifelink. Damage dealt by this creature also causes you to gain that much life. That's nice. Flying. Oh, first strike. Flying and first strike. Always a good thing to have. So you can have up to 4 of the same card. Excuse me. And you need big creatures and little creatures. So 3 of 14, let's go with that. Oh, that's 3. Oh, it's a 1/1. It costs 3 mana, though. Flying and Double Strike, that's why. Typically, again, 1/1 creatures would cost 1 mana, and then you're going to have a mana for each ability. Curse Spirit, Intimidate. This creature can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or creatures that share a color with it. Ooh, that's not bad. Child of the Night. Let's get a couple more in there for that. Gives us 3. Big creature. Sure. We got what? 3 griffins. That's not bad. I like that. Oh, Hideon's Pilgrim. What's this? Human Cleric. When Hideon's Pilgrim enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an aura card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Okay, I guess. Alright. Sure, we'll chuck one in there. That's not bad. And then who else we want? I don't think we can take any more griffins. It's a 1/1 flying double strike creature. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Fill your deck. You need more cards. Creatures are important. Most deck you want to include 20 to 30 creatures. Variety is good. You want low creatures and high creatures. Removal is the key. Select cards which remove your opponent's best threats, and victory won't be far behind. 16 more. How about lands? Would that be a good idea? Okay, what do we got here? Juggernaut. Artifact creature. Okay, colorless. Artifact creatures are typically colorless mana. It's a 5/3. That's pretty good. We'll get him in there. Vryn Wingmare. Flying. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. That's for everybody. Curse Spirit. Creature Griffin. Can I put them in there? Yeah, I think I'm done with that one. Fresh Bonds. Enchantment Aura. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block its activated abilities. Yeah, I'll go with that. That's fine. Siegecraft. Yeah, we'll get that in there. Skirmisher. Sure. I want some smaller creatures. Minotaur Abomination. Creature zombie. Sure. Deadbridge Shaman. The Deadbridge Shaman dies. The target's opponent discards a card. Sure, that's kind of not bad. Gravedigger. Gravedigger enters the battlefield. You may return target creature and migrate to your hand. I don't want more than one Juggernaut, I don't think. This card could hurt or help. I'll throw it in there. Oh, okay. Invisible Skirmisher. 2/2. Yeah. We want this guy. Yeah, we need some smaller creatures. Reprisal. Destroy target creature with a power of 4 or greater. It can't be regenerated. Oh, that's not bad. Good for taking out. Read the bones. Scry, then draw 2 cards. You lose 2 life. To scry 2. Look at the top 2 cards in your library, then put any number of them in the bottom of your library, and the rest on top. To scry 2, look at the top 2 cards of your library, then put any number of them on the bottom of your library, and the rest on top in any order. I don't get that. Scry in Magic is an action that gives you some control over which cards you'll be drawing in your future. To scry N means you look at the top N cards of your library, put any number of them on the bottom of your library, and put the rest of the cards back on top of your library in any order. I'm not sure I understand that, honestly. Look at the top N cards of your library. Oh, so I get to look at 2 cards. Yeah. Ooh, Nimbus Wings. Chain creature. Yeah, let's get that back in there. Reprisal. Yeah, we got that one. Oh, what's this? As Pilgrim and event, you may search your library for an card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shelve your library. Yeah, sure. Corpse Hunter. Sacrifice Corpse Hauler, return another target creature from your hand. Oh, so you spend 3 mana to get another creature back from your graveyard. Let's go with that. Okay. Lands. The right mix of lands. Yeah, you typically want 1/3. Is like the safe. So if you have a 60 card deck, you want 20 lands. If you have, when I used to play outside of tournaments, I think you needed a 60 card. You needed 60 cards or more. When I used to or in friendly one-on-one stuff, you could do as low as 40 cards. The right mix of lands can help you make sure you can cast all your spells. Recommend number of lands. Okay. The recommended number of and type of lands. Okay. Okay, so we have plains, we have 9 plains, we have 8 swamps, and then we have some of these. Isolated Chapel, tap to add either or. Rogue's Passage, tap and add to your mana pool. Born Tech target. And add what to my mana pool? Must be colorless. Forsaken Sanctuary. Right, okay. So that must be a colorless land. So these are nice. Dual lands. Add one or the other. Okay. So we have 9 plains, 8 swamps, and then 2... Oh, no, okay. 6 one, and then one of these, which is just... Tap and add... What is that? All lands may produce... These colors of mana may produce colorless mana. Black. Okay. Alright. Okay, so that's colorless mana. Okay. Just double checking. Double checking. We're good. Okay. And then, okay. Customize your deck. Choose an avatar with a background art sleeves. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. Nah. Nah. No, no, no. It's kind of a dark champion look there. Yeah, we'll go with that. There we go. We do a swamp. Now let's go with... Let's do that, because there's some life here, but there's also some death. Oh, I could choose this. Cost 100. No, it's fine. We'll go with that. Magical armor. Sure. Yay! Speed. Duplicate. Foil. So speed's not very fast. Strength is not bad. Control's pretty good. Synergy is okay. Create it. Oh, no. Okay. So now I guess we're going back to battle mode. Now that you have a deck, it's time to put it to use. Check out the solo battle to give it a go. Okay. So that's deck building. That's the deck building tutorial. I don't know. Do we want to have a long... Because we're about right at 23 minutes right now. So, depending upon the type of color you're using, it really determines your playstyle. Like I said, blue is very enchantment heavy, so it doesn't have a hell of a lot of creatures in percentage of what you're going to get when you go out and buy cards. So blue typically relies on enchantments. White typically relies on low-level creatures with enchantments to boost them up. Black is very similar. Green is very creature heavy. So you can have a lot of creatures. We used to have we saw it in there. The whatchamacallit, the elf deck. You basically, the idea of that deck is you have tons of different types of elves, and they're all little 1/1, 2/1 creatures, and they cost 1 or 2 mana. So you're just throwing massive amounts. It's like a Zerg rush, massive amounts of creatures out. You know, red is a direct damage deck. So you have creatures out on the board, but at the same time you're throwing fireballs, using disintegrates. Disintegrates are just another type of spell. You're using lightning bolts, any direct damage stuff to kill the creatures and hit the opponent. Black, like we said, yeah. So depending upon the colors you have in your deck is going to determine your play style and potentially the ratio of enchantment to creature ratio of enchantments to creatures. So I think we're going to end this one here. That covers deck building. Kind of not bad. I like their tutorial so far. It's very good. It's been a while since I've built a deck. It's probably been about a year and a half. I play Magic, the actual physical card game, with my son on occasion. My youngest son, he enjoys it, and he's actually not bad. He's come up with some interesting stuff. He's 11, so he actually doesn't do too bad. And I don't pull my punches. I did when I was teaching him how to play, but I don't pull my punches with him. So if he wins, he wins, and he likes that, to know that he beat his old man. So fair and square. One thing to remember about Magic, it is all about the luck of the draw. You can get screwed just because of how your card's laid out. And that's the one thing to remember. That's why you want to have those ratios of lands to enchantments to creatures. If your ratios are off, you can end up with a handful of enchantments that you cast on creatures and no creatures, or no lands to cast spells. So, alrighty, I think that's it for this episode. This is Sick Corp signing out. We'll see you next time where we'll test this deck out. Signing out. Bye now.